we're back, and we're moving into our next conversation for today. We are all talking about what the new normal is, and shopping is definitely not what it used to be.
Oh, yeah.
So we are very happy to be able to talk about one of the alternatives now available in Belize, that is online shopping, and that is BelizeOn. We have with us, joining us via Skype, Michael Fuller, who's the marketing manager, and Kay Menzies, who is the co-founder. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Morning, guys.
All right. Well, we're grateful that you are able to join us this morning and tell us more about the services that you offer. And it's so interesting. I was just asking you how long ago you started, and it's only been 6 months.
Yeah, it's been really exciting 6 months for us since we started and where we are today. Belize On has been one of our dreams to bring to the Belizean people in that we're providing a space where you can list products, services, and have it reach the entire country.
Yeah, the whole idea being that we help connect Belize with Belize. So it's really good. A lot of people think that we're sort of importing products that they can order from outside services and this kind of thing. No, we're simply trying to connect Belizean businesses with Belizean consumers in an easier way.
So, I mean, 6 months ago, we weren't talking or looking at online shopping as seriously as we are right now. Your goal back then, what made you think that we were ready to be able to explore shopping online for products that some people can just drive to the supermarket and get?
Well, first of all, I wanted to shop at home. You know, sometimes you just have that stuff that you need and you don't want to get dressed and leave home and go dig around in supermarkets and things like this. And it's just much more convenient. But one of the driving motivations behind this was we have so many wonderful Belize products. We make excellent Belizean products of all kinds. And it's so hard to find them in stores. Usually you have to go to a gift shop. We treat it as a souvenir for a tourist. Or else if you find it in a local supermarket, it's on the bottom shelf at the back behind everything else. And it becomes very difficult to find. And so we were curious if there was a way, again, for Belize business to help Belize business to connect with Belizean consumers. And this was the model that we developed for that. And it's turned out to be quite timely.
It most definitely has. So when you say Belizean products, are you talking about just locally produced products or products being sold locally?
Both, yeah.
Okay.
And I'll let Michael explain more.
Yes.
Yeah. So like Kay said, our main goal was to try to get Belizean businesses onboarded and to have consumers across the country be able to shop for these items.
Yeah.
I mean, and as we're going along, I'm discovering products that I had no idea existed in Belize. And so that's the most exciting part for me, to now be able to not have to go all the way to Placencia, not have to go all the way to San Pedro and these different locations to get these items right at my door. And what's so cool with that is, so you have the Belizean producers who are now getting a lot more exposure, and these other businesses who are acting as distributors for products that are being imported in the country now they all have a wider audience to reach. And so people are discovering more and more products every day on our site. I mean, we have a ton of SKUs on there, a ton of different products up there that you would never know existed in Belize if you didn't shop on this source before.
Yeah.
And you know, and Mike, I wanted to ask a little bit, since you said about your, discovering new products and wanting to put them out there. When it came to like actually, building the platform and whatever, how easy was it to get people on board to like actually want to distribute their products when this is kind of online shopping, as Marlene said, hasn't usually been a priority in terms of the local market. So how responsive were people in the beginning?
To be honest with you, people were really excited to come on board. They wanted an opportunity to extend their reach, and so our onboarding process is super easy. We'll onboard you within a day or two with different material that we require to get you onboarded. And some of the perks for these vendors are you get to list your products for free for the remainder of this year, for example. And since we had started, a different amount of products you can list for free on the site. We do marketing and advertisement for you for free on the site. So businesses are getting a ton of different perks. And so I think since we started, that has been one of the major aspects that they took on and wanted to, and generated excitement for them to now be on an online platform that prior to this, they were probably doing advertisements on their social media pages, maybe Facebook and Instagram, and trying out maybe different little avenues here to make that sale. But now everything is in one place. And what's so cool about the platform is now maybe I'm looking for, let's say, chocolates, which we have a fantastic vendor on there and more vendors who want to come on board for chocolates. And so I'm searching for that, and then I'm seeing, what else can I purchase on the site? And my mind starts to run wild, and I could create all of these amazing recipes with the different things that are on there. And so I'm bundling items together. I'm not having to visit store 1, store 2, store 3. It's all in one place, and I get it shipped right at my door. That's the best part.
You know, I think sometimes, and clearly because we're in the city, we tend to be very Belize city centric, but there are people outside of Belize who oftentimes have to trek here to be able to collect things. I'd imagine this would be most useful for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Where have you seen the biggest uptake in terms of consumers?
To be honest with you, it's been countrywide. The biggest amount has been out west, and then followed by the north, especially after COVID measures kicked in. Yeah. And the issue for the south is reach, but there's a lot of a growing interest from the south as well. So right now, I mean, we're happy to see that the demand is countrywide, and we're able to deliver. Well, under COVID, we had some restrictions, but we're able to expand our delivery on almost daily basis, so that we're able to reach most of the country at this point.
So what's your turnaround time for delivery?
To be honest with you, it can be same day, at most 2 days, depending on where you are in the country and where the vendor is that we're transporting from, but never more than 2 days, but most often within 24 hours.
So if in a whim I decide I want to cook us outside ham tomorrow, you guys can deliver it maybe by today?
Absolutely.
Of course.
We're waiting. We're right here waiting for you.
That would mean I know how to cook it, but that's another story.
Yeah, but actually
We can't procure the cook yet, but we're working on that too.
That actually brings up what was going to be my next question in terms of sort of the range of products that are featured on the platform. So, you know, what kinds of products is it? Is it limited to any particular thing, or is it, you know, what kind of products are we looking at, or, you know, variety-wise?
Well, one of our taglines is anything, anytime, anywhere. And we do mean that. What we do have a standard. Consumers have a particular expectation. And so it has to be a certain quality. It has to be that the product or service is delivering as promised. Yeah. But in terms of range of products, no, anything and everything. And we also add to that it's not just goods, it's services as well. Until the COVID measures kicked in, for example, we had a spa present on the site, and we're adding.
Wait, how does that work? How do you?
You make your bookings through the site. There's a link there that allows you to choose your day and your time, and you make your payment, and the spa gets the notice and is waiting for you. Unfortunately, right now they're on hold. But we do all kinds of services. Basically, a vendor contacts us, and one of the things that we do is every single day we're innovating and finding new ways to do what we do, so that what we may not have considered a month ago all of a sudden is appearing on the site, for example. Yeah.
I do love that you give priority space to Belizean made products. That's because then you find products that, I mean, you never knew were being made in country. But you also have other items. This is a really great time, I think, for online shopping or e-commerce to be able to expand. Do you still have hesitation from the vendor side about being able to use your site? I mean, new things don't always take on so easily.
Not necessarily. The vendor onboarding process is really easy. Again, we simply ask for basic information on your products. Of course, when you're shopping online, the only contact the consumer has with your products before purchasing is on how the product looks and the description and the price point.
Yeah.
So all of those things need to be taken into consideration, but it's a very easy process. And I mean, we're onboarding new products almost every day on the site. So I don't think there's any hesitation at this point. I think more and more we're going to see a lot more Belizean businesses wanting to come on board, and Belizean producers especially, because one of the neat things about going online as a business, you don't need to, let's say I'm a startup. When you have a startup business, you have to take into consideration a whole bunch of different expenses. When you list online, you eliminate the cost of rent, utilities, all of those bills that would have been associated with opening up a storefront. And with a storefront, you're limited to one location. With being online, you cut out all of those costs. You have unlimited shelf space to list your products. You have priority exposure, where we are rotating products constantly on the page so that you see the wide range that's on there. So for Belizean businesses, I mean, this is the most convenient way to sell your products now in Belize.
And I would add to what Mike said, and even if you're able to distribute, let's say you're a big enough business that you're producing and you're able to distribute nationwide, you have transport costs. You have to deliver to a store. You have to give a certain amount of discount and incentives to that store to carry your product and give it prominent displays. And then you have to advertise. All of that is taken care of in one space at a lot less cost. There is no cost to join. There is no cost to post your product. And so it's win-win for everybody concerned.
Yeah.
And for the consumers themselves, what's the feedback been like from the people who've actually been taking advantage? Do they like it? Is it like a user-friendly platform? What's the feedback been like?
Really, really good. I mean, when we started this, of course, we had to get the word out about how to use the platform and the different procedures. But we recently had an update on the platform and the app, which is also free to download, where the entire experience is so much more easy to use. Products load fast. You're seeing spotlight products. It's as simple as adding an item to your cart, checking out, picking your payment method, which we have several different payment methods that extend to any type of Belizean in the country. And enter your shipping information, and it gets shipped to you. So more and more, we're looking at how to make that a smoother process. But for now, it's been, it's really, really easy to use.
So what are your payment options? How do you purchase online? Is it?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So users can choose from selecting credit card payments, which if you look at our demographic here in Belize, there's only a small percentage of people who have credit cards. But apart from that, you can choose bank transfers. Most people are getting used to doing online banking now and have online banking set up with their banks. You could do physical bank deposits at a bank where you can walk into.
Okay.
We have payment methods where you can choose from BCCI, select BCCI Western Union locations or Zetro bill pay locations countrywide. I said, every Belizean has an opportunity to order online, experience the shop, and go fulfill their payment.
Okay. Yeah.
And I would add that when we walked into this space, when we entered this space, we were doing so knowing that there's a lot of fraud out there. One of the reasons that we decided to do it was you had a lot of stories out there of people making their payment and never getting product or getting things that they had not, getting junk instead of what they thought they had bought.
Yeah.
Things like that. And so there was a deep trust issue, and we knew that we would have to overcome that. And to be honest with you, if you go on our Facebook page, or anybody goes on our Facebook page, the testimonials there will tell you that we work very hard to make sure that we maintain that trust. We have ensured that the whole process from start to finish is secure, that the seller gets paid, that the buyer gets what they asked for, that there's an understanding from the seller that the buyer must get what they pay for. And so what you see on the site is what's going to show up at your front door. And people have begun to discover that all on their own.
That's excellent. And, you know, I think I was going to ask in terms of securing the data, because that's always the hesitation for people in inputting their credit card data or you know, disclosing the bank accounts with online transfers. I'm sure you put a lot of work into that as well.
Us and our banking partner, I have
Yeah.
to say. You have an ability to open an account on the site only for your own records.
Yeah.
Basically, if you're somebody who regularly orders item A and you know that you want 3 of item A every Friday, you can go into your account, log in, and just keep ordering that same order over again. So you can look back on your records in that respect. But when it comes to payment structures, we have built the site along with our banking partners in a way that people will see when it goes to payment, you get kicked over to a secure gateway.
Okay.
Neither the bank nor BelizeOn keeps credit card records. That's dealt with by a very highly secure gateway. And when
Okay.
it comes to bank transfers and so on, we never see your data. All we want is the receipt that shows that you have made your payment. We confirm that, and your goods are on their way.
Okay. Now, what are you hoping? I mean, at one point you were also selling produce. That was just at the time that there was excess vegetables on the farms. But is that also something you're looking at long term? I mean, some of us would love to be spared of going to the market.
Yes.
Not saying who, but some, right?
You're not alone, Marlene.
Yeah.
We realized, and this is our mission. This is why BelizeOn was formed, to connect the seller with the buyer in the most efficient way possible.
Yeah.
And in the middle of COVID, we were hearing stories that the farmers were having backed up supplies of produce. The tourism industry as a main buyer had essentially disappeared. And local Belizeans were saying, I don't want to go to the market, or if you go to the market, the farmer didn't come in that day because they didn't want to deal with being turned back at checkpoints and so on. So we were having what's known as a break in the supply chain. And we thought, well, this is why we're here. So we went to try and solve that problem. And that was our first effort. And to be honest with you, we intend to continue that effort because we see where there's a need for it, and we see where it can be dealt with in a way that absolutely benefits everybody in the chain, from the producer to the buyer. And that's what we're here for.
And you know, you've made it so far 6 months, and it's been pretty successful so far. Do you have any sort of concrete aspirations or see the platform going in the future?
We're here. Yes, Gavin, we have loads of ambition. We have actually a very dynamic team behind the site, and we have regular meetings, and everybody's sitting there just throwing ideas at each other. So the site never stops evolving and it never stops growing, and that's the point.
Yeah.
But in terms of immediate ambitions, we are going to branch out the site shortly to a whole new service involving, and I won't say anything more than this, involving food. So Marlene, your chef is coming to you. And we're also, this is meant to start local, but it's also meant to take our products eventually international. The idea being that, again, we are blown away by the quality and diversity of local products that we're seeing, and we want to help those local products go into foreign markets, and we feel that we're very well positioned to do that. So that is also one of our future ambitions.
Wow. And, you know, in the rollout so far, I mean, you're 6 months in, and I'd imagine your busiest months have been the past 2 months. How has the delivery part worked out? Because there's the idea of what you want to do, and then there's the practicality of it.
It's been an adventure. I don't know which of us will write the first book first, but it's been an adventure. But to be honest with you, the delivery part has worked out very well. What we've done is, in terms of making sure that our consumers are never disappointed, we've been very realistic about our capabilities for delivery.
Yeah.
So if we can't deliver to a particular area because our drivers won't be back by curfew or something like that, we're very clear with people who inquire, and we say, listen, you're just out of our reach, but we actually our reach increased during the COVID lockdown to some extent because of the increase in demand. It enabled us to deliver more.
Yeah.
And that perversely, it actually worked out better to be able to deliver because we had more demand for delivery.
Yeah. Now, this is an Amazon service. You're not going to leave it on my front door. You actually have to hand over to someone, right?
Well, we hand over, but the good news about our service is it's contactless delivery. It's contact-free delivery.
Okay.
In that the Amazon part of what we do, Marlene, is all our deliveries are done electronically.
Okay.
That is to say, the driver carries a device. He logs in that he's made the delivery, and normally you would sign that device to say that you've received it.
Okay.
We have evolved, thanks to COVID, into developing measures for delivery that confirm delivery, but without any contact between the person who is getting the product from the driver. Both sides are safe and secure in that regard, and you still get your product not left at your doorstep for sure.
What's not on BelizeOn right now that you would love to be able to offer to the public? Aside from the food, which you say is coming.
Michael has a wish list that he updates every day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Tell us about that wish list.
There's a whole talking about wish list. So that's one of the cool features on the site right now, where now you could add items and say, when it's your birthday, you could send this over to, I don't know, someone special and say, hey,
Oh,
these are the
I
items
didn't
was
know
looking
that.
for.
Okay, great.
So Marlene, get going.
So I can send my
Exactly.
wine list over.
Exactly. No, I mean, there's a whole range of products that I personally would love to see on BelizeOn. I'm just like you, Marlene. I want food. I want food in every shape and form on the site.
I know.
Every season exists, every meat product, every
Fresh
vegetable.
bread.
So I'm excited to get a lot more
Yeah.
with this new venture that that we're developing right now, to get a lot more food products on the site. But even apart from that, there's a lot of producers in country who do a lot of artwork, and
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about it now. I'm thinking, how are they coping with COVID-19 and post-COVID-19? And this is a perfect platform to get art supplies and artwork up there. I mean, if I unblur my background, you'd see my entire living room is filled with artwork. So that's something that I'm looking forward to.
I met a lady on Saturday who has handmade jewelry, and she's like, will you accept me on the site? I said, yes, come quickly.
Yeah, because you could have like a gift item segment portion, and it would also be great if I could just deliver it to someone, especially since we have restricted movement at this time.
And that's the thing. One of the points is that you can order to be delivered to your friend. It's not just ordering for yourself. Mother's Day ordering went very well, and what we're finding is a lot of people who are away from home, who are in the US or elsewhere in the world, are excited because they can order to deliver to family in Belize. We don't at the moment deliver outside Belize, but if you're outside Belize, we can deliver to your loved one that Christmas gift you've been dying to get them.
Yeah.
And so that's an opportunity as well for
Or buy
everyone.
them groceries for the month
Exactly.
if that's what they want to contribute from living abroad. You have everything from seasonings to personal care products, alcohol. We see quite a bit of Belizean made products. You have handmade soaps. What's been the most interesting item that's been selling that you didn't anticipate?
Do you want to answer that one?
Is it? Oh, well, I should have.
No, we've been bringing on a lot of new products on the site. One thing that really hit the ground running was pools. Everyone was
Okay.
excited about swimming pools.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, when we check our data, we're excited about finding products that people are the most interested in.
Yeah.
Of course, we want to have a wide array of products on the site, so that this really becomes your one-stop shop for anything. When you're thinking about shopping, when you're thinking about going outside to multiple grocery stores, we want you to come to BelizeOn first. But we take a real good look at our data to find out different interests, and swimming pools really worked. Another popular item on the site are the food and grocery items. People want to know that they can get their seasonings, their meat products, their sauces, their salsas in one place, and we have all of that. I think as we go along and we get a lot more vendors who can show us what they have to offer, so that not only us here at BelizeOn discovers what Belize has to offer, but so that everyone else out there realizes, hey, you know what? I don't need to go or think about shopping outside of Belize anymore. I have everything here. It's available to me right here.
Yeah.
And one of the things that went really well during the COVID lockdown was, and this was all local, was cleaning products and also personal care products, the local soaps and so on. And people started to discover all this wonderful local product that helped them to deal with their COVID needs.
Yeah, okay. So right now you are fully functional and you're still taking on new vendors. Let me be clear, there's no cost associated for the customer or the vendor.
The only obligations you have, the vendor pays a service fee on point of sale. When they make a sale, there's a small service fee which is used to maintain the site.
Okay.
And there may be a delivery fee depending on the product ordered and where you are. Other than that, basically, if you add up the cost, it's cheaper than going down to the store and making your order in terms of the convenience and the time saved and the fuel saved as well.
And you deliver from one product to as many as I want?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay. Gavin already has an order to put in.
Food related.
Gavin, we have your favorite products. Don't worry. Have them all.
Okay, so how do people get in touch if they want to be able to sell some of their products?
They can get in touch with us. So we are on Facebook and Instagram. That's the easiest way. We also want customers or vendors to go onto the site to check it out at BelizeOn.bz, and there's a chat function there that you can provide us with your information. There's also a contact us page on the site itself that you can fill in your information. And you can also reach us at either 614-9992, which is our WhatsApp number. I mean, there's multiple ways to get in contact and provide us with your information and your interest so that we can get you onboarded as quick as possible.
Do you deliver on weekends too?
We deliver on Saturdays.
Okay, on Saturdays. Great.
We give our drivers a chance to rest and recharge on Sundays.
Okay. All right. So that website, once again?
It's
www.BelizeOn.bz. And one of the points I want to make is that it's rapidly becoming something you're missing out on if you're not a vendor on there. We're well over 1,000 products already, and actually many more to upload. Mike has given up. Mike and his team have given up sleeping just for uploading purposes.
Yeah.
So if you want to sell your product, join us.
Yeah. No, I was looking through it. You have quite a bit. I mean, you can definitely skip a trip to the grocery store and get your items there. And what a better time to be able to develop our own Belizean online shopping experience, because clearly that's what our new normal will require. So best of luck, and we hope that people check out the site and that you're able to get more vendors on board too, which makes it easier for the shoppers.
Exactly.
Thank you guys, and thanks for having us on.
All right. Do take care. There you have it. That website, once again, is BelizeOn.bz. You can go online and buy your product. It could be from personal care to your wines and drinks,
Salsas, sauces, all sorts of stuff.
And I really do love the entire section dedicated to Belizean products. You can get handmade soaps. You can get Fiber sauce. That's delicious on so many things.
All the way down to fresh produce.
Yeah.